All right. So I'm so happy to have Karla to share with me and to hear a little bit about her career transition journey. So she's definitely got an amazing story in terms of how she made her transition, and it was really more of an internal transition. So she's currently working with American Airlines, and she has a wonderful, fantastic role there. And so she made a transition from a position that she wasn't necessarily too fond of to one that is more or less kind of her dream job. So I welcome you, Karla. Thank you so much for joining us here. And so I'd love to learn, what was your situation before we started working together?
Hi, Chicks. Yes, thank you. So before we started working together, I mean, like you mentioned, I was employed full time at American Airlines. However, I was just very unfulfilled in my role. I just felt like I wasn't operating in my strengths. I wasn't passionate about what I was doing. I was doing project management work. Um, and I just felt stuck, to be quite honest with you. And then also, my company had recently gone through some layoffs with
Mhm.
COVID and the downturn that came with that. And but my position was not eliminated, so there was a part of me that just felt like grateful to even have a job, grateful that
Yeah.
they didn't eliminate my position, and there's a sense of loyalty to some extent that I felt right. So I was in this
Mm.
tough position. Um, but I also I did have a longing to have a position that did use my skill set, that I did feel more passionate about, that was more in line with my career goals,
Mhm.
and wanting to not wake up every day like dreading going to work just because I felt unfulfilled. Um,
Yeah.
and so that's kind of where CCA came in because um, you all were able to. Also, my situation was such that I had, switched careers and getting into the role that I was in. Like it wasn't an easy journey. It was a lot of rejection because I had experience in something else, extensive experience in something else that was a career in something totally different. And so just having the thought of having to go through that again and those rejections, I just felt like I needed some guidance and some support. And that's when I came across the CCA program.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, it's interesting, and you mentioned a couple of things there too. I thought was really interesting because so many people find themselves, especially when the pandemic happened, where they felt that they needed to be loyal with their companies, even maybe they survived a layoff or they're overworked all of a sudden, and then they now feel, oh, you know what? I'm just happy to have a job, so I'm just going to stay here, even though they're unsatisfied with it. And it sounds like that's the situation you found yourself until you came across our program, Career Calibration Accelerator, CCA. So happy that we've been able to work with you. So I guess with all of that being said, what were the tangible results you achieved after we started working with each other?
Well, there was actually many tangible results. I have to say that one of them was just a shift in the mindset, which is
Mm,
one of the things that you talk about in the program, and how to retrain my mindset to be more strategic and proactive regarding my job search.
mm,
I remember one of the things that you said that really stuck with me was to add the word yet when it comes to
mm,
something that I think I'm not able to do well, or like whether it comes to interviewing or negotiating. And that was, to be honest, like a game changer for me because
mm,
that's something that I have struggled with my entire life. The negative self talk or the self defeating thoughts. And this kind of gave me a tool to turn that on its head and shift it into something positive. It's like, okay, I'm not able to do that yet. And to have that, um, to move out of this, what you call a fixed mindset. So that was one thing that was very tangible to me. Of course, the biggest tangible thing that I achieved was being able to land the position that I wanted. Um, and it was because I was able to go through the program and learn skills and develop the confidence that I needed to confidently walk into that interview. I remember when I interviewed the director for the role that I'm currently in now, and one of the questions that you had, um, one of the questions that you said that I should ask. I remember when I asked him the question, and I was at my amazement, he started responding and telling me what he finds most appealing in my background, experience, and skills. And it was at that point that I realized, like, wow, this really works. I have the skills and the tools, and it was because of what I learned from going through the program.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
definitely lots of tangible results.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome. Such a wonderful, I use this testimony, just story in terms of, some of the results that you were able to get, going through the program. And it's amazing how so many people don't realize that it's their mindset that really, it could possibly really determines how their job search is going to go, whether it's proactive or whether it's reactive, the types of positions that they're going to take or not take, whether or not they're going to negotiate for a salary or not negotiate for one. So it's a huge game changer for many people. And so happy to hear that this was something that was able to help launch you into what it is that you were looking for. So happy to hear that. So, what advice would you give someone who considers working with us? If they're kind of on the fence or they're wondering, what's kind of the next step. So, what advice would you give someone who's considering wanting to work with us?
Yeah, so I would just tell that person, like, you're making an investment in yourself and your future, and you will definitely get a return on your investment in terms of not only landing your next role, but also being empowered to negotiate your salary to get what you want and deserve. Not only will you have the right tools and skills, but you'll have a powerhouse of an asset with Chicks in Virginia as your coaches, and you can leverage all their experience that they bring. It's so invaluable just to have someone that can help prepare you and support you all the way through this journey. Like that's just invaluable. And you definitely wish you made the investment sooner once you've gone through the program and realized like all the things that you didn't realize that were out there that you can use to your advantage, all the tools and with LinkedIn, and yeah, you'll definitely wish you had made the investment sooner.
Wonderful. Wow. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And it's just been such a wonderful pleasure working with you. We're just so happy that you're in a position that you've desired to have. And it's a fulfilling role and you're doing very well and getting paid really well, might I add. And it's just really, really awesome to be able to walk with you through this journey. So thank you so much for allowing us to be your coach. We appreciate you, Karla.
Thanks to you, Chooks. I've like, gained so much insight from you all. I really appreciate all the support and the help of the program.
Thank you.